Hello, everybody. Phil Chenevert here. I'm still alive. Yes. Today is New Year's Eve 2022. That means it's, think, Phil, think. It's December the 31st or whatever. Uh, and tonight's New Year's Eve. And I know that because the fireworks started going off last night. And people, pow, pow, pow. I could hear them in the night. They got these, they need to burn them up. It's not going here. Yes, it is. It is going. Pardon me. I can never tell if this thing's working or not, but that's okay. Um, by the way, I don't have my ADHD medication. They're out of it. Nobody's got it, so I'm functioning barely. But okay. So the idea is fireworks. I thought, why do we blow up fireworks? From China to Australia, all over the world, people explode things, make loud noises at on New Year's Eve. And so today's edition of Why Do We Say That is why do we do that? Um, it has to do with the idea of an old year ending and a new year beginning, a transition period, and the concept that evil spirits find a way into our world easily at transition periods. Yes, the forces keeping them out get weakened. How they used to burn bonfires to keep them out. Anyway, so um, fireworks were invented in China about 700 BCE to for the express purpose of making a loud noise to scare away the evil spirits. Boom! Get away, you evil spirits! Get out of here! Pow! And I can see the spirits going, "Wow! I'm not going near there. There's all kind of noise and smoke and anyway, and drunk people." So that's just one of the traditions of New Year's Eve. Uh, that fireworks were originally intended to scare evil spirits at this weakened time when things are weak and the forces that keeping them out aren't strong and they're going to slip in. And various cultures around the world they do things with traditions with that. So I'll deal with that in another one maybe tomorrow or day after. Now, so fireworks, that's why we blow things up. We want to scare away, but it's just a tradition now. Although I'm sure there's many people that do firmly believe that it's helping keep the evil spirits out. So, the next tradition I want to talk about is the dropping that ball. Now, if you ever looked on television when I was a younger man, we would go, and we had TV. Uh, TV didn't exist when I was a young man. No, yeah, we would have that newfangled stuff. Um, so the ball is dropped in Times Square. Now, why is it called Times Square? Which is thinks about it. It's because that's where the New York Times, the premier newspaper in America, was published, and they had this building. And the year before it, a lot of the fireworks that went off. This was in I think 1904. 1904 was the first year they had this ball. It was made because the year before that, the fireworks that went off drifted into the street apparently and injured a lot of people, so they passed a law. No more fireworks in the city, folks. Too many people getting blown up and hurt and damaged and things. So the editor of the New York Times said, went to his electrician and said, what can we do for all the people that want to blow up the fireworks? And so he came up with this big ball. And at the time, electricity was coming in, so he put 25, uh, no, maybe a lot, about maybe 100, 600 electric bulbs on it, and then they dropped it down. And so when it reached the bottom, it would be pow, the new year, 1905, yeah, or 1904, whatever. I'm not good with numbers. So that's why that started. But let's go back a bit further because where did this dropping ball come from? It comes from sailors. Sailors in the 1800s had to find out where they were. When you're on the ocean, there's nowhere to look around and say, oh, there's a Walgreens. Oh, yeah, there's a Walmart. No, nothing's there. So they would use a sextant and their watch, and their chronometer would be set to London time or Greenwich time in England. And they would be able to tell by shooting the sun and various complicated mathematical things where they were with the longitude. I think it's longitude or latitude. Latitude. Oh, damn. Longitude goes from the top to the bottom. Okay, so latitude would be this way, where they were. I'm not a sailor. So, but then in 18, oh gee, I think it was 1829, one sailor or one, maybe an admiral, came up with the idea at Portsmouth Harbor in England that he made this big ball, big red ball, and he'd put it up there. And so the sailors would learn that would take their spyglasses, they'd be all around. Of course, the Portsmouth had maybe hundreds of ships there. They would watch, and then he says, you can set your watch or chronometer. When I drop this down, when it gets halfway, that's that's exactly the time to set your clock, to reset it, whatever, to that time. Because otherwise, nobody knew exactly when. So he started using that in 1829, 28, somewhere like that. And then that spread all over the world. Different harbors started using it. Ships would watch dropping that ball. They called it a time ball. So, and from that, New York Times got this idea, and from that, we have this tradition. And I'm talking way too much, so I'm going to shut up now. And I hope you all have a wonderful New Year. And I will make one about all the other traditions around New Year's and things like that. Bye bye.